Ba-ding! Hey guys, this is Marcus Stewart here, and today I am going to be watching the Ghost of Tsushima gameplay reveal demo thing from PlayStation's State of Play that they did recently. This is my first time watching it, of course. I had a chance to watch it yesterday, I guess, Thursday. This is Friday at the time of this recording, and I'm really excited to see it. Ghost of Tsushima is one of my most anticipated games of this year, and it has been pretty much since the reveal, despite the fact that until now, they really haven't shown much of it, which has been bizarre given how close it is. It's coming out in July. I forget the date. Originally, it was set in June, got pushed back when Last of Us got pushed to June. So this will be our first real look at a game after all the really cool and really pretty cinematic trailers that have come before it. So without further ado, let's hop into it and see what this game finally really is. Exploring Tsushima. Okay.
Exploration has been at the heart of our open world design since the very beginning. But you can't have exploration if you don't have curiosity. So we've continually asked ourselves, how can we let the island guide you in the most thematic and immersive ways possible?
I keep thinking that's a volcano, the big plume in the back there. I'm assuming that's just a fire, right? It just reminded me of a volcano. It's got some question marks, which is less immersive than I thought it would be. Like, that's kind of just Witcher style of like going on a map and just picking an icon and, you know, going to it. It's kind of when hoping for more Breath of the Wild style of like you just see things on the horizon. I'm just gonna go to that. Using the guiding wind to. So is it that you pick that location, but it doesn't tell you on the map where it is? Like, you don't see it on like the waypoint, so you know to go forward? Is it just like the wind guides you towards it instead of just having like a line in the road or something like that, like a gold path? I guess that's a bit more freeform. Because yeah, I don't see any. If this is all in game, like if there's no HUD, then there's no little compass where the waypoint would be at the center to let you know you're heading towards it. So you would have to rely on the wind then. That's interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you call a gust of wind and he just summoned wind to point you in the right direction. I get it's less video gamey, I guess. It's still kind of weird in terms of like, oh wow, it's got the Assassin's Creed bar. Like the same bar. I know because if anyone's watched my Twitch channel, I'm streaming Odyssey, so this is all. Yeah, the same awareness bar. Excuse me. Still, yeah, the same. Yeah, collecting wood from trees. That's very Assassin's Creed. You got a farmstead, Mongol territory.
The guiding wind can take you to all kinds of locations in the game, like this farmstead that's been taken over by the Mongols. It can also take you to your next big story moments, or even help you find rare collectibles. But what about the things that you don't know about, that you haven't seen yet, that you don't know exist? Keep your eyes peeled for other visual cues. Smokestacks on the horizons, interesting and odd-shaped trees, or maybe even animals trying to get your attention.
See, I'm worried because, like, okay, that's cool. Like, that's what I love about Breath of the Wild, is that a lot of it was just, you know, whatever you saw with your own eyes, you just went to it. You know, that was the point of those towers, was that it wasn't unlocking icons on the map. It was just a high enough vantage point where you could look around and just whatever you saw. You're like, I'm going to go to that weird-looking maze thing over there. I couldn't see that from the ground. Some birds will lead you into points of interest. Okay. So you gotta follow this bird. I don't know if this player's gonna follow the bird. Seems like it, yeah.
Stay away, my lord. The spirits of vengeful samurai haunt this forest.
Oh. I'm not gonna talk to that guy.
Let's go, Nobu.
But yeah, it still seems like you're being very much guided to points the way you would in most open world games, just in a less video gamey way, like a more immersive way, but still very much being guided if you want that, you know. And it's wondering, like, will the birds just show up when you're around, or do you have to call them like the way you would manually like set a waypoint? Like, will birds show up all of a sudden and, you know, lead you there? Foxes will guide Jin across the island. Oh, to hidden shrines. So foxes, okay, so smokestacks equal people and help, foxes equal shrines, birds equal points of interest, and then gust of wind, just whatever in general, I guess, whatever you want to look for. Honor the shrine. Our shrines needed to earn a minor charm slot. Once you visit a location, you'll be able to return with fast travel.
Tsushima is rich with exploration and discovery, and whether you're just following a string of torii gates that'll lead you to a high mountain shrine, or maybe it's just a fox trying to show you something hidden in the woods.
Pet the fox. It's good to know. I want to
Either
pet the
way,
fox.
Bring your sense of adventure and let the wind guide you.
Literally let the wind guide you.
Lord Sakai.
It's a beautiful game. Like, I feel like it's, you know, there's a lot of diminishing returns with graphics now because everything more or less looks amazing. But I think there's something about, like, I think a lot of it's the lighting in this game is so phenomenal. But things here just have, like, such a great kind of cinematic, you know, like cinematic is kind of an over used term. Oh, what the heck? Hold on. Okay. Damn it, GameSpot. Alright. Jin the Samurai. But yeah, like saying. Oh.
This is Nate Fox from Sucker Punch. Now, we just showed you some exploration, but let's switch gears and check out some combat.
I think I planted those same flowers in my Animal Crossing town. But yeah, everything just has this, like the cinematography is so well done. Like, it looks like you know, everything looks like a scene from a movie, like a still. And something about the,
If you've ever seen a samurai movie, you know what to expect. Two warriors, sizing each other up, waiting for the other to make the
standoff.
first move.
Fight me.
You can finally see how combat works. Ooh. Huh. Is that all, like, timed? Button presses? I could almost have the sensation of a quick
As
time
you can
event,
see, the
but
Mongols are everywhere.
don't
on
think
this
that was
island.
it.
For Jin to succeed, he has to use real, skillful precision in fighting them. No wasted energy. Every strike must count.
So I see the L1 and R1 there. I assume that's like your, maybe like some sort of finishing move? Or special move? Change combat stances. So that was my biggest question with this game, is that we've kind of had like a, you know, like a bit of a rash of samurai, you know, action games between like Nioh and Sekiro that have all approached sword fighting in their own ways. And I was wondering, like, how do you, and they're both good at what they do. So I was wondering, like, how does Ghost of Tsushima, what does it do differently? How does it stand out opposed to those games? The combat looks all right. Like, it looks fine. I just wonder, like, it's, you know, you can kind of see the DNA in from those two games, like different stances.
Okay, so that was Jin fighting as a samurai. But now let's see him take on the same group of Mongols as the dishonorable Ghost. As the Ghost, he'll use every dirty trick he can think up to even the odds, even using fear as a weapon.
So I wonder, do you not have access to these abilities if you aren't the Ghost? Is the Ghost like a separate form or something? Like, I don't know if that was ever previously explained, like in like prior coverage. If it was, I apologize. I might not remember or have missed it. But I wonder, like, is that like a separate, like you have to choose to be like, okay, I'm gonna toggle Ghost now, so now I can do all the distraction stuff, or can I just do that anytime? And is it just, does it feel like a ghost bar of like, you used ghost tactics during this mission, so you've leveled up your ghost abilities? Okay, kind of chain them. The combat looks like the animation looks super slick. Super slick. I was wondering, like, how hardcore is the stealth in terms of like how well can the enemies hear? Like, he stabbed that guy not too far from this guy, but I was like, how sensitive are they to noise? Use kunai for a quick kill. Oh, this guy's crawling. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Okay, so he's like afraid and just kind of gave up. That's pretty cool. Huh. Shoot like a rope arrow or a swingy grappling hook. Okay. Ooh. I like the weight on it. I could feel the impact and the weight on that bow. Seems like that's gonna feel real nice. Ooh. He stuck that in his mouth? That's what it looked like. Let's see, like night. So because he had to just destroy the one thing at the end? Okay.
You might have noticed that while fighting as the samurai, or sneaking around as the Ghost, Jin had on a different set of armor. That's because the armor in this game actually gives you different mechanical advantages. It's not just the way it looks. It helps accent your chosen playstyle. As you explore the world, you'll discover Omamori charms. They'll give you an edge in battle. But more importantly, as your legend grows, you'll develop all new techniques which transform Jin from a samurai into the Ghost. But the thing is, you get to decide how those techniques evolve and grow over time. It's always worth keeping an eye out for dye flowers. Find enough of them and you can change the color of an armor. So not only do you get to choose how the Ghost gameplay evolves, but you can fine-tune the look as well.
Those outfits are alright. Photo
It wouldn't
mode.
be a Sucker Punch game if it didn't have photo mode. And our new photo
You know,
mode
I've
will have
never
features
really
such as
been a
color
big photo
grading,
mode
depth of
guy.
field, so you can focus on the right
Maybe I
objects.
think a lot of it has to do
We
with the
have a bunch
fact
of
that
new
in
features
real
that
life,
really
honestly, I'm not a
underline
big
the
picture
motion
taker
and movement
guy.
that's
I
so
just
great about our game.
don't really take
You
pictures
can control
of
the wind's
myself, or
direction,
the only time I ever
speed,
really take pictures of anything
change
ever
out the
really
particles to different types of
is when I
leaves,
travel.
fireflies.
I take pictures of like landmarks, but in
You can
general,
select
I
a track of music
rarely
from our
really
original
take
score
pictures
that
of
might be a little
anything.
bit more fitting.
So I think that's why I've
So
never
if
really
you're doing a
gravitated to
photo,
any
maybe you actually
photo
wanna do a
modes in
video,
video
there's
games.
something here
They're
for you.
cool for people that
Here's a
like them,
few
but
that I've created.
I wish I was more excited for them sometimes, because like, oh, this looks cool. I could look. I've seen like cool pictures that friends and you know other colleagues have made, and you know put them on social media, but it just never grabbed me. Japanese voice track. That's interesting, because I was like, this is an
The
obvious.
Japanese voice track option with subtitles is a perfect fit for our game. So I'm happy to say that before the first scene even starts, you'll be able to turn this option on.
That's cool. I was wondering, as in Western-made games set in Japan, like you would assume it defaults to English, and that probably wouldn't be as big of an issue because it's not like you feel like dubbed versions of Japanese games can be pretty hit or miss. But it's like, what if it was developed in the West to begin with, and maybe the quality would be better for an English cast. But now that there's a Japanese language option, I was like, man, do I want to do that instead? I don't know. Samurai Cinema? Can you make the game look like this?
Here at Sucker Punch, we are huge fans of Samurai Cinema.
Oh
We
man.
wanted to create a way for you to feel like you're playing your favorite samurai movie.
Oh, that's cool. You can make.
So we created a windy, black and white, film grained out mode that you can turn on from the very beginning of the game.
Can you turn it off though? Or you? So the whole oh, that's awesome. But can you turn it off? 'Cause it's like I would like to mess with it, but like I hope it's not a you got to commit for the whole game. So oh, look at I was like the are these camera angles for the duels, or are those not in the samurai movie mode? Oh, that's cool. I wouldn't do this for my first playthrough, but in the event that I play it again, which to be honest, I don't know how likely it is, because I rarely replay games, even games that I really like. It seems like the way to do it. That's a really, really cool little option there.
Today, we've shared with you some of the unique ways that you can explore the island of Tsushima. We've also shared with you some of the ways that you can fight as a samurai, or assassinate as the ghost, or customize Jin, or play in special ways. But we have so much more to show you in the future. Ghost of Tsushima comes out on July 17th. Thank you so much for watching today. We'll see you later.
I would say like I said, they've definitely captured the sense of style here. Like every like little shot like this could be like a almost like a framed piece of artwork in its own way. Okay, so that is the end of the demo. And my initial reaction is that it looks really good, but I don't think I was necessarily blown away from it from just a purely gameplay standpoint. Presentation wise, absolutely stunning. Like I said during the thing, and throughout everything they have shown of it, you know, because it's pretty much all been the presentation that they've been banking on up to this point, like that stuff seems like they've got that on lock. Like they don't have to worry about that. And just the inclusion of that that samurai movie mode, I think that's a really cool addition. And then, you know, that on top of the Japanese language option seems like an awesome way to pretty much go all the way with the kind of samurai film, like the samurai film, you know, fantasy, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I guess fantasy is the best word for it. So that stuff is great. I can't wait to just look at this game, and you know, having a photo mode is a no-brainer for something as beautiful as that game. So the exploration looks, you know, honestly pretty standard compared to a lot of like stuff that I was saying throughout the video, like Assassin's Creed or The Witcher. It just seems like they've taken the same systems and just made them less intrusive, less video gamey, and found a way to make them more immersive. I want to know, like, because all the in-game footage, at least in the exploration, there was no HUD whatsoever, and I don't know if that's just by default or if they just removed the HUD for the sake of the presentation. I would hope so. If you can play that game without a HUD, even games that give you the option to play without a HUD, I can never truly do it. The majority of the time, like, there's always something that I feel like I need to keep an eye on. I don't know why. But if they have found a way to be like, hey, you don't really, like, if you design something that's just really I guess basic or easy that you don't need to see all the time, then yeah, keep it on, or keep it off, I should say. Go for it. So but the idea of I think they may have maybe overstated the freeformness of exploration, because like I said, everything just looked like the same systems, just like instead of a Fable style gold little ribbon that just knows where to go, it's like, hey, follow the wind, but you can summon the wind at any time to kind of show you where to go. So yeah, maybe it's less weird, but it's still the same thing. Like, it's not quite the like, you're still going into a map and you see question marks everywhere, just like you would in a lot of modern open world games, and you still select them as a waypoint. It's just that you don't see them on the actual there's no in-game compass to see them. So I was like, oh, okay, it's not quite Breath of the Wild, we'll say. And I think I kind of hold Breath of the Wild up on a pedestal. I mean, it's probably my favorite game of the last decade, to be honest with you. And I think that game redefined freedom in video games and kind of set a bar for it in terms of, like, just, making less is more, like getting rid of all those icons that a lot of games populate their maps with, and just letting people just use their eyes the same way you would if you were in the wild. Like, if I climbed a tree and got to the top and looked around, then I'd be able to see, like, okay, there's something over there, I'm gonna head in that general direction, and then, if I want to, I can put a waypoint there. But even the waypoint in Breath of the Wild, you just see, like, the light in the background. You still have to go to it. Like, there's nothing leading you to the light. There's nothing that tells you, like, this is the best path to get to the light. It's just like, just keep looking up at the sky towards the red beam or the blue beam or whatever it may be, and eventually you'll get there. Like, it's the same mentality as, like, a smoke signal. So for Ghost of Tsushima to kind of, like, like, oh, you pick a thing, and then, you just keep hitting the win button until you get there. Like I said, it preserves the kind of the immersive kind of cinematic nature that they're going for, but it's still the same thing. I don't know. So maybe I was a little underwhelmed by that. It's still cool, but not quite what I expected when they were kind of hyping that aspect of it up. And I also hope that the kind of clues for where things are, like the fox always leading to the shrines, the birds leading the people of interest, the smokestacks always signifying people in danger. I hope it's not as strictly defined as that. I hope there's a bit of nuance or variety to it. Like, if I see a smokestack, I don't want it to always mean, like, someone's in trouble. What if it's just a campfire? What if someone's just hanging out at a campfire? Like, you would see the smokestacks in Red Dead, like Red Dead 2 or whatever, and you see, like, okay, there's probably a campsite there. Someone has a fire, or it could be something else that was just on fire. But if it was, like, if I see smokestacks everywhere, I'm like, these are exactly how many people are in trouble right now in this general area. It seems less exciting. Maybe I won't want to engage with it, especially if those missions aren't particularly fun. In the long term, if I see smoke, I'm going to go the other way. Like, I don't want to deal with, because I know exactly what that's going to be. I hope they mixed it up. Like, there's some surprise. Like, maybe there's just a fire that was just abandoned. Maybe it was a house. Maybe there's no person tied to it. Maybe it's just like, hey, this is it could be anything. A lot of things can be responsible for fire. I guess the fox is leading the shrines. I guess you have to adhere to that if it's a specific thing like that. I assume you can just find the shrines on your own, right? Like, you don't have to, if I stumble upon a shrine without seeing a fox, like, where does the fox live? Is the fox just in one spot on the map? Like, if I don't find the fox in that one point where he hangs out, does that mean I can find the shrine in a different way, like on my own, like if I just stumble upon it? Or will a fox always spawn in front of you if you're near a shrine, no matter where you're coming from. You get what I'm saying? Like, I wonder that too. I hope not. I hope, like, the fox should be, again, just to kind of like preserve that sense of discovery. I mean, I don't, I guess maybe some people might want that if the shrines are really important. Maybe you don't want to have to search for them if it's like I need the shrine to get like, like I forgot what it was already, whatever ability point, whatever it was that it gave you. But like, I know it'd be cool if like if you could just stumble upon it and be like, okay, oh wow, I found a shrine, and then maybe, But then when you do find a fox, it's kind of like if you were actively searching for a fox, which I don't know why you would search for a fox. You could just search for the shrine. But I guess it feel cooler, like a bonus of like I found this little cheat. I don't know if any of that made sense, kind of starting to babble about it, but it's just something I'm wondering. I'm thinking out loud. A lot of stream of consciousness thoughts here. The combat looked fine. Like, it looks slick. The animations look great. Like I said, when I mentioned the bow thing, that looked great. Like the weight and the impact behind it. They didn't really go deep into the actual combat systems. They just kind of showed like you can either attack them head on, I guess in an honorable way, or you can be a ghost and use more kind of tricks, which they deemed as dishonest, which I mean, maybe in samurai culture, I guess, like like whistling or throwing a booby trap to distract people and getting them from behind. I guess that's less honorable. Maybe I've been conditioned to other games that do that, and you're like, I mean, that's just, you're evening the odds. Like, I gotta infiltrate a camp full of dudes. I'm gonna fight them all head on. Like, that'd just be dumb. So I don't see anything dishonest about it. But I guess when you think about the culture, maybe I guess so. But that was kind of it. Like, they didn't really go into like this is how combat works. Like, are heavy attacks, light attacks. What are you doing to trigger in the beginning when he got rushed by like 3 guys and he just went boom, 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 just took them all out? Like, it's like, was that like a time thing? Are you like watching their movements and you just know what window to strike to trigger that? Like, they just kind of did it, and they really explained the process behind that, and I was kind of disappointed by that. And there was also that L1 R1 thing that kept glowing, and they didn't explain that at all. It's like, is he gonna use it to like trigger whatever that might be? I assume a special attack of some sort. But like, I saw the little cookies, for lack of a better term, at the bottom screen. Like, I saw them disappearing as he was making his way through the camp. So I was like, I guess maybe like certain attacks, I would imagine, use up a cookie, a samurai cookie. We'll call them Jin cookies. And then it was only the last 3 at the end where you could trigger that. So I'm wondering, like, do you use your attacks? You get to that last point, and is that kind of like a I don't know how you replenish them. So, because they didn't get into that either, they really didn't touch on that bar. So I don't know. I'm spitballing. It's like when you get to the end, is it like that's like your last gas? Is that L1 R1 thing? Like, oh man, I'm almost out of cookies. Super duper samurai attack. Blah. Everyone's dead or something. I don't know. But I'm just really surprised I didn't really touch on the real like nitty gritty of combat. They just kind of showed stuff, and they were more general about it. They were more general about the styles that you could do, but not how they actually worked. So that's a little disappointing. But overall, though, now that we've seen most of this game, and they said they're showing more, I would imagine there's probably going to be another one of these before launch, at least based on what they said at the end of this. I'm still excited about it. I wasn't super blown away by it, though. At the same time, I wasn't like, oh my god, this is changing the game. It definitely seems like it's taking bits and pieces from like other games like Assassin's Creed or Sekiro or whatever. Like, you can kind of see the kind of patchwork quilt of influences going in there, and maybe not a ton of what makes this game unique in its own way. Granted, no idea is really original anymore anyway, but at the same time, I was looking for that, like, what's that one hook that Tsushima has, outside of the presentation stuff, but just more of gameplay, that it's doing something that hasn't been done, especially compared to its peers, like Neo and Sekiro. I don't know if I really got that here, but I'm still excited for it, and I still, as I hit the camera, as I still very much want to play it, so... we'll see what the next look at this game. Maybe they will get into more specifics of the combat and stuff, but I think for the first gameplay reveal, they probably should have just done that here, in my personal opinion. But we'll see. I mean, The next one's got to come sooner or later because we're already, mid-May, and this game comes out July. So not a ton of time between now and then. So if I had to guess, I'd say June. Sometime in June will probably be the next one. But a great looking game nonetheless. Big Sucker Punch fan. Love Sly Cooper. Love Infamous. Really excited to get my hands on this and really see what it's about. Live out a cool cinematic samurai fantasy. But thank you for watching, guys. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and also check out the other reactions and gameplay stuff I got on my channel. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, you can also hit me up on my Twitter. I am at MarcusStewart7. That's the number 7. You can also follow me on Twitch at Marcus Streams Games. I usually stream around like Tuesday and Thursday nights for the most part. And you can also find me on my personal website, marcuswritesaboutgames.wordpress.com, where you can find all my written reviews that I'm a freelance writer, so I do like reviews for different sites and features and whatever else comes my way. You can find all that stuff there. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Hey, if you're a Sailor Moon fan or love anime in general, be sure to check out a podcast by Moonlight. It's the podcast where I and co-host Jack Gardner watch every episode of Sailor Moon for the first time ever. We give a play-by-play breakdown of each episode, discuss and debate theories for where the show is headed, and, most importantly, make a bunch of stupid jokes and idiotic observations for your listening pleasure. Every Wednesday, you can listen to a podcast by Moonlight on Spotify and Libsyn, as well as follow the official Twitter account at APBMoonlight to keep up with new content. Moon, Prism, Power, Makeup, and subscribe.